Hi, I'm LDS in Medium, and thank you so much for tuning in today. I want to try to bring religion and spirituality closer together, and this is what this pod is all about. I will talk about my own thoughts and feelings as I am both LDS and have spiritual gifts, something that I've had my whole life, but I always thought that it was hard to combine these gifts with my religion. This has torn me into two directions, and I have talked to many people who feel the same way. I can't choose not to have my spiritual gifts, but I can choose how I use them. And I always want to use them for good and to help others. I believe my heavenly parents gave them to me for a reason. So, this is me. Join my quest for knowledge.
Men vs. Women 13 Part 1. The chapter is called The 5 Keys to Great Sex. And you start backwards with key number 5, romance. Bring it on, Mark. I really like the way he starts off this. He's going to focus on how women can have great sex, since men, as he says, have great sex if the woman shows up. That doesn't contradict anything I've learned in life so far. But as a woman, I know my body and what works for me, and I'm curious how he as a man interprets women. He starts by using this image that a man's sexual desire is like a light switch. You turn it on, while a woman is more like an iron. It takes time to warm up to optimal capacity, and it takes more energy to get there. I really like that because it felt true. It takes time to get in the mood and for the energy to start moving inside. Once it erupts, it's earth-shattering. I'm going to quote him now. For a woman to experience sexual arousal, she needs her husband to be a lover to her. She needs romance. Men are not against romance. They just have no idea how important it is to women. Romance is about sensuality, not sexuality. Sensuality involves holding hands, hugging, cuddling, sweet whispers, feeling the roughness of a beard and the silkiness of hair. All things that helps us connect emotionally with the moment. I jumped a bit because you talked about a lot more, but I think you get the hang of it. So in order for men to get sex, they need to plug in the iron and heat it up by using sensuality. He says that wonderful sexuality is the result of wonderful sensuality. Pretty easy to understand, right? I like this part. We must realize that gazing at each other, talking, listening, touching, and holding hands are as important to couples married for years as they are to newlyweds. I would say even more important because when you're newlywed, you have all of the emotions and hormones shooting off in the brain. He goes into that too, the chemicals like dopamine, serotonin, and a few more. And the romance, the sensuality, is the binding together once the chemical starts to wear off. Dr. Desmond Morris have identified 12 steps that if you follow this progression will strengthen the bond, and they are like following. 1. Eye to body. 2. Eye to eye. 3. Voice to voice. 4. Hand to hand. 5. Hand to shoulder. 6. Hand to waist. 7. Face to face. 8. Hand to head. 9. Hand to body. 10. Mouth to breast. 11. Touching below the waist. And 12. Intercourse. He continues, the good news is, even if a couple has a tired, patterned sex life, walking through these 12 steps regularly and in sequence will reinvigorate a couple's sensuality and restore gusto to their sex life. I want to quote the next part too, because I think more men will be able to relate to it the way he says. So here goes. Listen, gentlemen, learning how to pay attention to your wife, learn how to kiss her and intimately touch her without the expectation of sexual payoff. Learn how to step up to the plate and swing for a single for first base. Do you know what happens to players who always swings for home runs? They strike out most of the time. And that is what will happen to you if you try to score with your wife every time you touch her. She will begin to resent your touch. End of quote. I don't even know how to follow up on that. I just think he has got it, the understanding. I read a lot of comments in the single group. I just wish everyone would read this book in there. I wish it wasn't so taboo to talk about these things since it's a really important part of marriage. Then he looks at the aspect of anti-romance and pornography. Pornography objectifies women and men uses it to satisfy themselves, and the way he describes it is that once a man goes to pornography, the focus shifts from being a lover to his wife and working to satisfy her needs to using her to satisfy his own. I don't think any woman out there would like to give herself to a man that just uses her. It would make her feel dirty and tarnished, and it would kill her soul and put out the inner light in her. He ends this first part of the chapter 13 with these words: "If we men want our wives to be more interested in sex, we are going to have to learn to be real lovers again." But to answer what he names as a lover, he describes a lover as following. If a man is a true lover, his first priority is to awaken and then satisfy the sexual desire of his wife. Then, and only then, does he allow himself to reach his sexual peak. That is a lover. I don't know about you, but I find this so interesting. I wish I had known this growing up before I got married. If you want to take away anything from this, remember light switches and irons, sexuality and sensuality, and women want lovers. I guess this is why I'm attracted to Korean dramas and Chinese dramas. There is a lot of sensuality there and romance. Until next time, be the light, share the light, spread the light, shine.
This is my journey. Thank you so much for keeping me company today. Please download, like, share, and subscribe, and help spread the light and spread the word to expand our community. Let's bring more love, peace, and unity to this world. Take care of yourself and your loved ones. Always be grateful, kind, and loving. Be brave and remember to step out of your comfort zone and smile. If you support us on Patreon, you will get access to our meditations and extra materials so you can download them as MP3. Also, we now have a Facebook group, which you can access from our Facebook community. Please answer the questions as you apply to participate. It will be a safe haven where we can keep discussing religion and spirituality, our spiritual gifts, and self-development. Remember, one person can make a difference, but together we can change the world.